Welcome to the second part of my Coues deer hunting archery trip this year for 2019. If you didn't catch the first video, check it out. I'll put a tag or whatever card, whatever they call it, at the very end of this video, and check that one out. But just to recap, I went through and took a 30-yard shot at a deer. I missed, so at that point I was so devastated I had to go sit at a friend's house and hang out with him and drink some beer. So after, I don't know, maybe like 36 hours or something, I came back. I had mentally regrouped. And so we went out and tried to I went out and tried to re-tackle the rest of my hunt. Yep, that's right. It is officially freezing and I'm feeling it, let me tell you. My tibia is like at the very top near the knee. It has a little like knuckle on it, kind of, that sticks out to the side. Well, all the muscle around that's atrophied enough that that's pushing like directly against the carbon fiber socket that so essentially my leg goes into the socket and that's how it's held on. And so that's like, that bone has got direct pressure on the tip of it, and it's not feeling super good right now. So I just did a check to make sure that I don't have any skin abrasion, and I don't. There's no discoloration or anything, so that's good. For those of you that are new to the amputee thing, that's always a huge concern, because if you get any sort of discoloration in the skin or abrasions and stuff like that, it puts you out of your leg for a while and back into a wheelchair or crutches. So trying to avoid that. Obviously that's never a good thing. Plus I hate not being able to walk. Kind of an irony, I guess. But anyways, yeah, so I'm gonna take it a little bit easy today. I'm gonna start out with doing some spot and stock. I know that sounds like it's not easy, but I'm not going to go super far. Where I was hunting is being taken up by ranchers who basically lease the land from the county today. So they're going to be in the area the entire time. So any deer that would be there would just be jumpy and not really worth trying to get at. So I'm going to take this morning to kind of do some spot and stock, see if I can find something else. I went to a different tank last night and didn't see a single thing, so I'm trying to kind of reinvent the game at this point. But that's where we're at. It's super cold, and I'm starting to get sore, and not too sure how much longer I want to continue to do this. I've located a couple of deer, but they're like 500 yards away. And the wind is blowing so hard, as you can probably tell, because you can probably kind of hear me. My spotting scope can't even stay still. The weather report said 6-mile-an-hour winds. There's no way. It's way stronger than that. It's absolutely ridiculous. So, anyways, I'm just sitting out here. I guess I'll watch them from a far distance, see what they do, and just kind of study them for right now. Even though this wind is really good to put a stock on, I haven't seen any bucks for one, and two, I think I'm too sore to probably actually try and do that. Change 406. That fibular head, or whatever it's called, that bone that's pushing out. I waited about 30 minutes thinking that maybe the pressure of putting my leg on for the day would kind of help it to where it would go away. The pain and stuff like that, a lot of times that's the case. But it's just not right now. So I can barely even walk without a severe limp and a lot of pain. I mean, just a couple of steps. So is what I'm going to do so that I'm not completely destroying myself for the last couple days. I'm trying to do the smart thing, which is really hard for me at times, and rest up today. So I think what I'll do is there's a couple of spots basically sitting, and I can take my leg off and just kind of rest it for the day. Literally just stay in it all day and take my leg off and let it rest. and then maybe this evening, or if not, then first thing tomorrow morning I can get back at it. Best case scenario. So, well, if I see anything, I'll put that on camera. If not, then I might just move to the next day. We'll see how this goes. I got him for sure this time. Oh, yes. All right, definitely hit him. Got complete pass through. All right, guys, so I waited about 30 to 40 minutes. Probably should have waited a little bit longer, but it took me almost 10 minutes to get my leg back on because I was sitting there with my leg off. So anyways, found a blood trail. Goes about 50 yards. I rewatched the video just to be sure where I hit, everything else. Definitely hit a lung for sure. I know he's dead. It's 46 degrees outside, supposed to get to 33, I think, or something like that. I ran out of daylight, though. I searched for about 2 hours and never did find him. So last thing I want to do is like just push him out in the dark. And on top of that, I'm close to the border and I don't have a sidearm with me, so that kind of freaks me out a little bit. Anyways, I'm going to go out first thing in the morning. I'm sure he's going to be there. I'm sure he's dead. Not a big deal. The meat will still be good because it's so cold. The only concern is that, predators or something like that might get to him a little bit. But, I mean, in hindsight, I probably could have done things a little bit differently, been a little more patient. I mean, I think that's the story of this whole trip is just patience. It's 10 o'clock. I've got my uncle and my cousin here with me. And we found a blood trail. It only goes maybe 30 yards. There's not a lot of blood either. It's small little spots. But the arrow is a clean pass through. Like, I mean, it's obvious, and it's bright red blood. Going back looking at the photos, it looked like I hit him high towards the back of the lungs maybe. Anyways, we've all fanned out in about 200, almost 300 yards. Yeah, I'm even more than that. I'm probably close to a quarter mile from where he was shot. None of us have seen anything. Not even, I mean, we lose the blood trail. There's so many tracks, it's hard to tell. And since it's dried up the last 2 weeks, there's not like real prominent tracks either. But anyways, we're gonna keep looking all day, and if we don't find him, then it's gonna be really disappointing. So here's a good lesson for all of you amputee viewers. If you're gonna have a prosthetic leg and be reckless like I am and go archery hunting and then not leave a huge blood trail, you gotta walk everywhere, make sure you have a lot of good family, or close friends like I do, who are willing to walk around and crawl on all fours for you to help you find your deer while you sit on your ass and do nothing. We ended up not finding the deer. We went out all that entire day, went out to half a mile. I had 3 people helping me. Even the next day, so basically the third day after I actually hit the deer, went out again to see if I could find some birds or something that might be feasting on it and kick them up so I could at least find the carcass and get some satisfaction out of that. But there was nothing. So I know for sure it was a dead deer. As you saw in this video, the arrow was bright red blood. So it's definitely dead. I think I bumped it and I waited 30 minutes for sure, but I don't think that was long enough. So the other change I made is I went from fixed broadheads to mechanical broadheads. And I'm hoping that in the future that will make a little bit bigger of a cut and leave a little more blood to follow. So overall, that was the second Coues deer I've ever shot at. It was the first one with a bow, so I can't really complain. It was super awesome, but I felt guilty, so I ended up not hunting the rest of the season and not punching that tag. So that's it for me. I'll have other videos coming out with some of the different gear that I use that are a little more amputee specific, like helpful tips and things that I learned throughout this hunting season. And then we'll transition into fishing. And lastly, don't forget to like and subscribe.